get you.
I think you know, going back to the game as we're about to go live with this one, I feel like for me one of the big things here is that I think that Mantu is going to help OG enormously. North don't really have an AWPer that can compete with him, I would say, at least currently. So I think the firepower is gonna. I think it's gonna be about the firepower with OG, regardless of how comfortable LXCB I think calls on this map. We'll see though. North on the T side, so we'll get to see what they've prepared for this map, if they had anything prepared at all, given that it's the third map in this series.
Oh, the BT coming out from. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, NBK is going to stop that right in its tracks. And Issa is here to support him as well. Good stuff from the OG side already. And it's looking hot for the individuals. Gade left in a 1v4 now, and he's being approached from tunnels. Valde playing it with some caution, and actually Gade's able to take his life.
Don't count him out, man.
Yeah.
He's got that USP as well now. The range is equal. He's got angles. He can take those 1v1s through these doors. How do these guys work together? You can see LXCB giving some sound cues, headshot through the door, Gade with 31 HP now. He has the minutes on the clock, and I think he kind of enjoys these situations, but this one won't be too much fun. I think there was an attempt there from North at the beginning for one player to jump and take the bullets away, but he got wrecked immediately. I think the best example of that I've seen was, I've seen Olofmeister bunny hop into B backwards on a pistol to try and make it as hard as possible to shoot him in the head. Which is really awesome, but that one didn't really work out so well.
Yeah, we actually been seeing that a couple times over the past week of people on T pistols were hopping around like a maniac and just jumping around spinning. Why not? Spin to win, baby.
Hey, you're coming around.
Try to.
The AG timing there from OG was slightly off, but look at this push coming in. It's a lot of information. Oh, wow. Okay, Cristo just smashes Valde. He was covering the flank, and he did so very effectively. And this is a little bit scary now for OG, having lost Valde like that. But they do still have two players on the site to defend. And in go North, and we'll have to see how much these MP9s are good for here. There goes the peak from LXCB. Wow, okay. Just spraying them all down. Looks like it should be under control here. But the damage is really nasty. They've managed to take down 3 players despite not getting a bomb plant. That's certainly a good result.
Yeah, they would have loved to get that bomb plant. Fortunately, OG was right there, just kind of scoop it up. And that cat take, a little interesting. It looked like North was just all packed in one area, and I hope that was just an equal round strat, not their gun round smoke flash execute.
One thing to note was
bam.
Their molly didn't land on the site. It popped in the air, which is really weird, because I think it was meant to clear out the site itself, and that was where the MP9 was in position. So on a map like Dust 2, that's a bit worrisome, although I imagine on their executes, they'll more go towards the ramp than the site itself. But something to pay attention to. Can't have too many missed Molotovs like that, because that can cause you a lot of problems. Nice flash through mid, though, and Issa's going to get taken out. There's some nice position. LXCB, they will try to hold on to things, and he'll at least retake control of the mid area as the focus is on B tunnels, where there's a Molotov now. So all the plans for North have been thwarted by OG for the time being. However, I think they may have a bomb plant in this one.
Oh,
this is something that you have now with the new doors, where some people want to defend from the outside and take liberties and kind of use it as an extra man, where you don't necessarily need to be on the site itself. But that will, I was going to say, cause the a bomb plant, but it won't. Apparently, they'll stop that as well.
Yeah, MBK left B to pick up the, I think, M4 in middle that Issa got picked off in the middle of the round. And at that moment, North rushed B, so it was almost a disaster for OG. Positional-wise, but luckily for OG, the MBK cleaned up, got a couple kills.
It's a little bit scary, given that OG has taken so many casualties in the last couple of rounds. This is a potential for them to be reset here. Nice tag through the doors onto Issa there. MSL showing up with the op just a little bit already. And North, the very quick approach actually in this round, taking a lot of space early on. Looks like they'll be opting for some cat control where they will not be contested. So they're able to achieve quite a bit of real estate with no real contest.
Two defenders there still on the long position for OG. So the biggest hole that we can see is towards that catwalk position and the A approach. And there's no AWP either for OG, so if North do decide to hit that A bomb site, it might be kind of hard to retake or even get the kills to allow a retake to be a little bit easier. That said, we do have some running here from Alexi B through CT, so that's a rotation that will be heard from North. Great HE though onto Gate. He's not going to be happy with that one. Now, okay, so this might be a fake. Here's represent a B split, but go for the A play. And that should try to occupy the attention of the player in CT. And indeed, that's exactly what's going to happen. It seems one will drop, and that's going to be good for a quick kill. With the 4v4, and now it's up to Valde to really help to defend this. Mantu as well from the car position. They're actually doing a great job in defending, considering that North, I think, did really make it look like it was going to be that B split. Christo, now the last man standing, needs to get some damage at least to make sure that OG don't grow that economy all that much. And he does manage to take down Issa, and does he have the bomb?
No, I don't think so.
No, oh no, the bomb's on the site, so...
He's got 3 seconds, so...
That's also a good point. I was like trying to search for the where the bomb at. I didn't even
no
look at the
clip
timer.
allowed.
And with that offensive round by North, I think there's an apparent flaw in North's play style. Their scaling seems to be really off, because they did toss a bunch of nades and smokes and flashbangs, but the only person who was in any position to get kills was Gade after he hopped down pretty much to CT spawn. The rest of the team was still in catwalk. I don't know if they were tossing nades, maybe they got FB'd or whatnot, but you definitely, this is one of the maps where you have to almost kind of like bum rush the catwalk after you toss all those FBs and smokes at that point. You just have to get down and dirty.
You just can't jump down into CT spawn without that drop smoke. That
Yeah,
was
that
a huge flaw in that one, and they paid for it. But North, they have more utility this time around. They'll have another crack at it, and I think they want to make it work. And I have a good feeling that they will. I think they will drop the necessary smokes in order to enable that kind of play here. You can see that smokes are coming out. It'll be Montu on the ramp to defend here. The nades are all flying in his face, though. This is great utility on the side of North. They've allowed themselves to scale beautifully, and Gade's able to capitalize because of it. Nice shot onto Montu, and now this entire A site is theirs to hold. Issa, scaling quickly from ramp, though, is able to find one, looking for more. His teammates will chime in with their own frags, and it looks like OG are quick to dismantle this post-plant defense from North.
And yeah, defuse can be committed to now, and Valde will finish off Christo. Yeah, that was a really good retake. I was a little bit worried when Mantu went down with the AWP. Felt like the AWP would be accessible, but I think a Molotov that was maybe meant for the plant actually went to the slip. I'm not 100% sure, but it prevented a pickup of that AWP. And you can see here, there's the molly. See, I think maybe that's supposed to be to stop the plant, that molly actually, but it ended up preventing a pickup of the AWP. So that's a win as well. So 5-0 for OG, looking like they are the better Dust 2 teams so far. We'll see if North can recover on this round.
Just a quick note for people at home. The guys are aware of the sound, so that will be fixed ASAP. MBK's been lost early. MSL finally getting on to the scoreboard. It's his first kill on Dust 2. Big AWP map, so that's nice. Cajun B's been taken out now towards a long area, which is still being fought for. Now, AZ could have a lot of parts to play in this. Slowly creeping to see if anybody's there, and he eventually finds out the hard way that they are. And MSL now still on long. He does have the bomb, so won't have to rotate to pick anything up. He can make his play. See if he hangs around in T-spawn for a while, maybe looks through the doors for a peek, or if he opts to do something else. Seems like it will be towards B. I think wherever he chooses to go, he's probably going to get a 1 versus 1. Such is the nature of the situation now. He will be heard by Alexi B. He's made a lot of noise, and it's going to be difficult for him to clear everything out. We can see the rotation is on. He may not check the car at all. Oh, had a chance there. Still there's no peek from the car just yet. Patience will pay off for Alexi B. Wanted to make doubly sure of it, and they keep the clean sheet.
Yeah, good stuff there from OG. That was so scary for them, actually. The fact that MSL found that pick onto NBK as he was crossing mid in the beginning of the round, there was actually no B defender from OG for the first 45 seconds of that round. It's just that North had already decided in it to approach long A and up catwalk simultaneously. It's a call with conviction for North, but man, if they had just known that that B site was free for the taking, that could have gone so badly for OG. And sometimes teams will just switch it up. If they get that pick on the cross, they'll reset the situation. And North not having that second phase there, just not game planning for MSL to find a pick on the cross.
I'm really interested in AZ's route and catwalk. He didn't really clear the car before looking spawn, and I mean, if there's still a lot of people left on OG alive and your teammates are taking long A, I think priority is to clear that car angle-ish first, obviously, and then you want to get spawn. Of course, in the heat of the moment, maybe something happened, heard a footstep, who knows. Just like little things like that could have won them the round.
Yeah, MSL looked a bit AFK there, but some players will just have an off angle to see if there's a lower tunnel play. Speaking of which, it comes in late, and well, they'll get a 2-for-1, which will be favourable for the CTs. I think they have to come out of that with a man advantage of some description. It's going to be worst case scenario for them, so it's a pretty good spot for OG at the moment.
Yeah, their defense is spread a little bit thin right now. No player in a great position to play off one another, but it does look like they are centering it. But as they do so, NBK is left on a bit of an island here towards B. Alexi B can support him from mid. And Alexi B, he wants to challenge these double doors. He wants to look for a fight here in North. They might just give him it. Alexi B looking for some kind of timing, but he won't press on forward. He will just rotate on to B to try to help out NBK, but the brunt of the hit will be going towards Catwalk. Montu is there to face him. Good Molotov to slow down these oncoming Ts. And all three of them are in position. It looks like it's a half of a cat exec coming out from North. I don't think there's a drop smoke in play, but they will still go for it. Montu on the ramp. He has an opportunity, but Christo is quick to take him out. Issa, though, on that car position, is unable to find anything. A couple of whiff shots, and now North have complete control of this A site. But Alexi B, with the jumping shot, is able to find AZ, looking for more. And it's just down to Cajun B and Christo now. They know about Alexi's position, but what can Issa accomplish from this angle? Cajun, he does take out one of those CT players, and that wasn't the player that took out his planter. So they should still know about Alexi's position as well. But Alexi, he's going for more. He's double dipping, and he gets punished for it. Cajun B is able to find him. Christo takes out Issa at long, and North are able to get their first round on the board.
Wow, that was actually a good round for OG to win. They had two ops on the railing, but none of them could connect an op shot. And I guess that's the negative part about having ops. You got to hit your shots if you want to have a big impact. And North getting a little lucky. Maybe that's the little luck they need to really propel themselves in this half to get more rounds.
Well, starting things off here with a long take is never a bad way to open up a round on long, or rather, sorry, on Dusty. And AZ is in pit immediately, and again, this is a pretty rough one because typically the CTs then have to play from catwalk. They don't really have a choice unless they want to try to play for a long retake, which is quite rare. But interestingly, a three-man play towards the B bomb site is kind of how OG are handling this round, where a round in which they don't have an AWP, a round in which they have, oh, sorry, they do have an AWP, but a round in which they don't have much weaponry otherwise in terms of M4s. So we'll see what the Mantu can do. He could really turn the tide here as he's faced with many oncoming players. The first whip, though, and then the flashes start raining in, and he has no chance whatsoever. It's looking like North will indeed take this A bomb site, and OG will be forced to save, which I think they were kind of playing with that in mind at the beginning of the round, given that they had three towards B initially.
Yeah. Well, let's see if they're able to save anything, because Gade is on the prowl. Pretty awkward for Mantu.
Oh, 6 shots.
Oh, that's nasty from Gade. They take nothing from this OG. That was really awkward on the A site with the AWP. Saw one of the rarer peaks on top of the box towards the platform, but got nothing out of it whatsoever. And then, yeah, you got to land those shots, as the Bear said. Otherwise, you're just out there exposed. You're on the ice.
You're minced meat.
I mean, you have to credit North because I think this multiple times when I've seen A-side defense from Mantu on the AWP, he's actually been so flashed every time.
Yeah.
He doesn't really seem to be able to find a way to avoid the flashes.
So I think maybe OG needs to change up the CT a little bit after the gun round, maybe play more of a cat-centric setup. Maybe toss some nades long and then maybe think you're taking long, but then you have a stack up on catwalk, really play with those mind games with North. Because playing on the rail is okay, but it's not okay if they're splitting you from cat and long at the same time. That's when it's okay. Now at that point, we got to either leave A and take long, or leave long and take like catwalk or something, or even in the more extreme parts, you just fall back CT spawn and retake mid or something with your teammates, because it's too hard to hold A on two different kind of big opening choke points like cat and long.
They had cat in the last hold at least though, but Montu just tried taking that fight to them to a point where the utility really came into play for North. I agree though. I think they could live with playing a little bit farther back and just retaking from catwalk and CT as well.
So I'll be honest, I think taking retaking A is not as bad as you think it is if you save a smoke or two.
Yeah, especially if you smoke off that far corner, that kind of long corner of the bomb site. It's so hard for a player in pit or at long to try to spam the diffuser.
And incendiaries as well go a really long way. There's lots of different ways you can hit the site with them and cause a lot of issues for the Ts. I've seen many rounds won on retake just where like the CTs get there just in time to prevent the plant from going down for like a full 14 seconds because they were able to line up an incendiary that hits the plant from the safe plant from cat, and also there's one you can do from CT fairly safely as well.
Yeah, this is an interesting decision here from OG. They don't actually have money to buy an op. They have about 4,400 apiece, which a lot of teams would opt for, but Dust 2 is probably one map where you just can't really go for this buy.
Yeah.
It's usually a half buy here. So we'll see if they opt for that or they go for something a little bit out of meta and do force up here. I would strongly advise them to not buy up into this round. It's too much to work up against. It limits your options so greatly for both retakes and holding long. Oftentimes with these kind of buys, you just have to fully send it all the way towards long. Sometimes you'll see a 1-4 come out where you just fight long to the death with all of your riflemen and then just have that lone B player. But in my opinion, I think OG will just go for maybe a couple scouts and deagles here and there.
This is my favorite knife glove combo. It's pretty good. Good work, Valde.
The gloves are my favorite for sure.
They're so good.
I think the knife can be interchanged with a few different things. Different fade knives in general go so well with this. Yeah.
How much are those gloves? They must be thousands.
Wow.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out, James.
I've got all the tabs, baby.
Tell us stat, man.
All right. Let me see.
I want to guess like
okay.
1,400.
So minimal wear, I think, is the best you can get, and on Steam it's £1,200
Oh,
okay.
for minimal wear. Field tested 427. So
He's got
significant drop off.
he's
I'd
got
imagine
minwear.
the worst wear are darker. Minimal wear.
He's got
Very
midwear
good.
for sure.
Very good, darling.
yeah, they look really good, really clean. Clean.
They forced.
Go to
Okay.
the store and buy some gloves for $15. What are you paying $1,200, man?
Oh, here we go. Oh, looking to open up
You're
the AWP. The
such a party
flash.
creeper.
And then the smoke prevents himself from doing anything.
So OG does the opposite of what Alex would want it. They do force buy. Or I wouldn't say force buy. They do have some armor, rifles, very little utility, no kit, very unsituational.
Surely you feel compelled to make a play when you have less. But CT side does too. Very, very difficult to do that.
Yeah, I'd say more stacking somewhere, you know.
Yeah, we can see that ISA and NBK have almost made an electric fence towards the B tunnel on the radar. And I would imagine they would go for a trot at some point. So probably you need to hear of some activity towards the A bomb site first. That is a nice grenade, and that's a completely failed run boost. But it's okay. Valde hiding behind the corner. He'll hear some footsteps and try to force it. Surely he peeks with this. Here it comes. Look at the swing there. There's the aggression.
It's the combo you like to see.
To some degree. Yeah, it's going to be a big fight though. MSL starting to creep. Again being denied by smoke. Still we've got that electric fence towards the B bomb site. Valde gets an upgrade, but is 5 versus 4 enough?
I love the cat play there from OG. That's really, really awesome. That's caused a lot of problems for North. They've had to make the call to go back to long, knowing that there's so much presence on cat long. They knew that long was probably for free, and they're going to scale up as quickly as they can because they don't have any time here. So much time is wasted by OG's excellent utility play on around the catwalk position, and life just gets harder and harder for North here as they're losing players, losing time. Every second is precious, forcing the plant here. MSL with the defense. Oh no, he misses the first shot and he won't get a chance for a second. Great round from OG. They really held North at bay.
That cat play was so pivotal. That
Yeah.
I loved that Molly combo. They had so little utility left. You can see that when North were crossing long there, they had no nades at all, but all the nades they used early in the round were just perfect. And you got to commend them for that. That little deep Molly, short Molly combo, and it just forces that player under the stairs out of position. Good stuff from OG there. I didn't think that was a good look for them, but they proved me wrong.
Yeah, North, I think maybe on these kind of rounds where they might think that they will buy, if they're down in money, you should have a good understanding that they will either have a lot of utility or not. So I would like to see North do more of those, you know, as I said, pump fakes, where they toss a bunch, you know, one utility nade set to bait whatever nades these CTs have. You know, if they're feeling a little pressure, they might release the nades a little earlier than they want to.
Gate really fast up towards catwalk stairs this time around. And just having that position gives you information. If there's no setup there at all, then you can assume that the CTs have long in some arrangement. It's hard to know like if they're playing a 2-1-2 as we see currently, or if it's like a 2-3 setup where mid is abandoned and the third player on the A side is towards Goose. Because usually long and Kara are the most commonly kind of staple positions. And then look at the torrent of nades. They just barely dodged that. Oh, I love this. They forced the A player away and go for that quick B switch, but the frags are going towards OG mostly here. The trade finally comes through for the B plants. But a decent amount of damage from OG. Oh, Valde.
Angles on angles. Yeah, Valde top mid is going to be really important. He's carrying one of the two kits as well. MSL waiting for the right time to strike. He's got no flash from his teammate, just a Molotov on Cajun B, but he may feel compelled to be the aggressor here. Falling back now as Cajun B looks to flank, but how does MSL entertain? How does he slow them down with just the AWP? Cajun P picks some nice timing. Now, does he rotate? Does he hold position? And there's only one on the site looking to push, trying to figure out where MSL is. He rings the alarm of the AWP now, but he's got to find that kill. LXTB from up top, and there'll be trades on trades. And Valde, again, with that kit, is going to be in the right place at the right time to defuse the bomb and bring OG to 8.
Oof, it's a little rough sometimes seeing MSL up in terms of just if you're not hitting your shots, it just looks bad, you know.
His movement is so slow. It's some grandpa movement, actually. It's literally the most boomer style, just crouch walking into every angle. He never actually crouch slides into angles. It's really odd. You need to add that to your arsenal if you want to be a top tier operator.
Well, 8-3, OG looking really good at the moment on the CT side. Getting 8 rounds on the CT side it does too. You start to feel very comfortable. The T side is really favored. Fast cat control again for North. And respecting that, OG will take one player off long, put him on car. That's going to be Man2 with the AWP, of course. The classic spot. That's where you want to play your AWP. And they've got LXB towards CT spawn as well. So in the previous round, what North did, which was pretty good, is they actually threw nades onto A in a way that actually pulled the CT player out of position towards A, and then they hit the B split. But they still didn't win the round, unfortunately, but that was a really well-played manipulation of rotations. And AZ is going to be able to take down LXB and CT. That's even better if you can just straight up get the kill. And this is North should win this round. Like, it's so predictable how the CTs play from this point. The 2-2 setup that we see, where one is on the site and one is on pit, and they're isolated from one another, is very, very standard.
Yeah. Oh, but Montu making a case for himself at that cap position. Now Valde is in such a strong angle, but he's not able to find anything. That's a beautiful flash from MSL to set up Christo, leaving just Montu here at the car. He gets one, looking for more. Oh, how does he miss that second? It looked right on, but it looks like North will take the advantage here.
Totally right. It's going to be very difficult to recover. That's a great HE, actually, from MBK. That's going to soften up 2 players very nicely. And Issa is around the catwalk position. He's not made much progress just yet. Still trying to work on taking it away from Cajun. Another great HE from OG. They've made some solid connections. And Cajun's he's really weak at this point, but it looks like Issa might try to just save this. And MBK is going to try to maybe get an exit, and looks like they've given up on it. I'm happy to see North win this round. They set up the advantages and closed it down.
I mean, I'm actually pretty impressed by the utility uses of OG this entire series. It seems like they're pretty much done their homework on timings and setups and coordination with each other's on their nades and Molotovs. It's pretty refreshing to see, especially when I guess you're considered a newer team than some of these older ones, you know? It's just awesome to see that they're putting a lot of work in that aspect.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We're seeing, like, I feel like they're doing more nade damage than I see most teams doing on average.
Yeah.
When they throw an HE, it seems to, like, usually be pretty meaty.
And we've already seen multiple triple nade setups. Maybe not so much on this map, but definitely on. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and lucky. You got to have those once in a while.
Nice 1-for-1 across the board here. And North aren't actually able to achieve any ground because of it. It'll actually be OG and Alexi B pushing out of long so early, catches Christo off guard, and now it's NBK. He has to shut down this position. He gets 1, but it's quickly traded out by Gade, and that leaves B open for the taking. But it's still only 2 players on the side of North here, MSL and Gade. They're in fact looking a little bit surprised that this B bomb site is completely open. But how will they solidify this defense here? MSL smokes off the door, but good timing on that tunnel speak is able to tag him down. Now he has to change up his position, predicting that a Molotov would head his way. And MSL, he really needs to connect with some shots here. He needs to get this done for his team. He finds 1, but Valde is there to trade it out.
Nice retake from OG. That's OG really proactive here. Definitely feeling it. And North, that's gonna be disappointing. You'd think that they were really feeling favorites for that round, and instead it's going to be 9 rounds for OG now and 4 for North. So again, OG really threatening that they're going to make it to double digits here. And again, on the CT side, if you get to double digits, you are just feeling on top of the world. It's very difficult to do that on Dust 2 against a good T side. And the North, they've got to scrape something together here. They cannot finish with 4 rounds. That's just not a thing that should be allowed.
It's not very Dust 2 of them.
Going into that cat default once again. Or perhaps not. Are they going to try? I mean, usually you would want to clear the close positions around the double doors just to make sure that you can push the CTs back, get a free kill if it's available with your utility, and keep the pressure on. And also, that pressure around the doors also suggests that maybe you're opening things up for a B split, which usually pulls in a player away from A and forces him to play CT.
Gade looking at his teammate. Waiting for him. Run boost? Nothing. And so now, North here has probably a good idea with that nade and the catwalk being cleared through. Oh, what a flash by Peak Valde getting 3 kills!
So sick. Again, the HE was perfect, the flash was perfect. The utility just owned North there. That's so amazing, and we can break that down in a moment. We've got a couple players remaining, KGB and Gade, trying to find a way to remedy this situation. Oh man. KGB might be able to get a forward position. He's creeping, and there at that jump spot's the crucial, but Cajun will take down Mantu. And that is a good start to try and find a way back into what feels like an impossible round to win. But KGB has position on the site, and Gade is looking for anybody coming onto the flank. But the issue is that the bomb is down in the doors, so they're just trying to survive.
Whoa. Oh, nice. Jeez.
They're so good.
Yeah. It was nice to highlight their nades there.
They win, we got to ask them about that.
Oh, wow.
But it's such a strong info play because they know that North are setting up something, And so it's given that they had 2 players long, if there's nobody there, then they do also get the option to have doors control and push on the flank. This is such a sick execution from Valde.
That timing was just perfect for OG there, right when the smoke is fading, and usually that's good for 1, maybe 2, but usually there's a guy that's behind the doors ready to flash, so you rarely will find 3. That's just everything going right for OG in that sequence, and you really love to see it.
Yeah, you'd think that one person would be the anti-flasher, but you know, hindsight's always 20/20, right?
It's usually just the guy that's going to flash them through the doors who doesn't even, he's not even involved in that. But regardless, that's just so great. You rarely see that because
I was just gonna say, you never see that.
That window is that timing is so tight when they're actually in the tunnel. I think the only team I've seen do that in the last half year has been Cloud9. MOTM one time had a highlight similar to that one, and other than that, you really just don't see that info play late in the round.
Cade trying to sneak on by. But OG not biting just yet. Throwing flash for each other. And Alexi B just mows down 2 on the catwalk.
Yeah, that's definitely difficult to deal with. Nice from Christo. He gets himself a double in mid, leaving Mantu for the clutch. These 2 teams are fairly separated right now. So if Mantu can find an engagement before assistance is on the way to help Cajun B, that would be ideal. But it looks like Cajun B will prevent that from being the case, which is obviously the correct way to play this. Make sure that you use your teammate. Mantu, that's a hard shot to hit, and that's going to be the end frag. It is a consolation round right at the end there for North. They will finish 5-10. They've got a lot of work to do in the second half. We'll find out if they can do that work after the break. Okay, OG absolutely rocked North in that first half, but going into the second half, maybe North will be able to find more success on what is typically the less favored side of Dust 2, the CT side.
Looking at the utility here, it looks like Alexi B is calling some kind of simple play, but actually it'll start with a pretty spread out default. I like this from OG, just acquiring the information, maybe seeing if North will show their hand in this round at some point, and then they can make a more informed decision instead of just jumping into the fray immediately.
Yes. Just rerouting themselves down lower, making sure that if North were to do some kind of weird shenanigans type play, that they would not get caught by that, and getting quite a lot of information. Also, you know, you can kind of see if certain spots are open that maybe you didn't anticipate, and maybe you can take advantage on the fly. But here we go. Short attack comes through. Cajun beat with a pop, a second pop, and he is going to hold things down without losing really any health. And that is not a good moment here. Try to fight now from long with Glocks against USPs. That's also not going to feel good. OG off to a poor start here on this pistol.
Funny thing about this situation is that MSL can smoke CT from long near car with 1 smoke, you know, the deeper one, but he's on the other team. So he's at the advantage there. Almost no one else knows how to do that. But anyway, they've managed to plant the bomb somehow in this 2 versus 4. Mantu spotting some legs falling back though. Trying to stay conservative. He'll deliver the headshot. He's got so much more to do though. And there were 2. He's really trying to work hard for this. Constantly rotating for the reload, but it was too much to ask in that situation. For those wondering, I did make a video of that smoke so long ago that MSL once threw. He was like, keep this off the internet, dude, but I've left it there. But no one yet. He's that nerd though.
Yeah. That's actually a really good result for OG. Getting the bomb plant and those kills allows them a lot of options here. Mantu has 3750 right now. That's probably more money than almost anybody on North, actually. And with that, he goes for the Galil util buy. So
he's a team player.
I was hoping for the AK head arm.
Listen, you don't need AK when you insta-kill, insta-tap 2 people. You know, 2 shots. You just need 2 bullets.
But there's 4 helmets on the North side.
It's okay.
Oh, MSL has an op.
Uh-oh. How many mistakes have we seen in past years when someone buy an op on the second round?
It's us too.
The anti-force fire round.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Full of awkwardness.
I've never seen it go well. Prove me wrong, MSL.
It's a helmet at least. There is that. Cajun B will spray them down. Actually, it's Gade who gets all the kills. And 2 versus 3 now for OG. Valde, oof, gets caught there as well. The Khalil's not really working out as they wanted them to, but they do get 3 kills. I think they really wanted to get a bomb plant there as well, so they would have at least the option to keep the pressure up. But with the current situation, it's going to be tough. Again, had they got the bomb down in that round, they would have the option to get nades and some P250s or a deagle or 2 in this round, and they could actually do a lot of damage. But it's looks like they should likely be mostly full savings, a few deagles, couple deagles, 3 deagles.
Couple things, as we would say in London.
Bibs and bobs.
Oh, I'm very satisfied when I see that HE land. It's a good one. Well, OG has spread out. They will look to perhaps avoid the initial utility from the CTs and then try and find some heads to pop, some grapes to squeeze. So you can see North holding off angles for the most part. Nobody's just peeking too crazily. It's a hunting now. What's his next angle, I wonder? Well, Gator will get touched, but not too much. The rest of the team are coming through now. There are 2 CTs here, but Gator's likely to lose his rifle as they swarm the site. He's given himself a wall. He's got the bomb now. He's got a full spray as well. If he stays alive in this, that'll be absolutely outrageous. Well, he will do exactly that. The smoke will cause some variance for OG, buy some time for the rotation, and keep him alive when he was low health. So that's very well done.
Hero smoke.
That bodes very well for North on their CT side. If Gade can lock down B bomb site like that, he looks so composed throughout all of that too. Like, never too worried about anything and just playing around his own smoke perfectly. There's not much. You can't ask for anything more as a B side anchor.
2 kills, stay alive. Fantastic.
Fast cat take comes through. Fastest timing, running straight down suicide, and it is death for Cajun B. And MBK is not done just yet, I don't imagine. Just pausing things, wait for his teammates to set him up for the next kill, as Christo is going to be the one playing for the ramp with the FAMAS, and then Marcel goes down, and now Christo is going to get sandwiched, and that is not a good look. And they are all falling. AZ, the last hope, and maybe it's time for a new hope. Something, something, Empire Strikes Back. So, I was like,
is that anime?
No. Oh, jeez.
That was a really good call by OG, that fast cat. I think it definitely caught North off guard. You saw 2 of the North players at long, and I mentioned earlier about holding that, those spots in the A split, and you saw how awkward it was for the CTs to try to get a good spot and angle, at least get some kills on that rush. Get nades from Cat, flashes from Cat, then people at long want to rush you down. You just gotta buckle up and give up some spots on the map if that's possible.
Well, it's a 3-round lead for OG, and this round is not going to be the best one for North, excuse me. Asthma is always fun. These rounds are some of the worst rounds, I think, if you're on the CT side of such a non-investment, basically. Just standing around and waiting to get spanked. They'll put the numbers in that mid position, though. Try to use them together. Safety in numbers and all that.
I'm just amazed at how bad the USP is against armor. Like, it goes from one of the best pistols to one of the worst.
It's called balance, Eric. You can spend money for a better situation, like a 5.7. What's wrong with you?
Look, I'm shooting a bullet, all right? It's very fast. It hurts regardless.
Your comments today have been very disappointing, I must say.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you, James. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support, James.
You know I love you.
I love you too, James.
I miss your motivational speeches on the servers.
I gotta...
I'll miss them until they start again.
Well, once we can play games when you don't have 180 ping, it'd be great.
Oh, we got Prius. Prius, this is the man who lost one of my drones, although it was my fault. I said and it went
I
into
just thrown everyone on the bus
field.
today.
Went basically over a hill, yeah. Now we can get onto the Prius trivia as the day progresses.
As long as he catches the action, I'll forgive him for you, James.
In theory, he should be really good with drones, right? In theory?
He's observing. He's using a camera a lot of the time.
Exactly, like a flying camera.
Yeah, a lot of motion.
Yeah.
Maybe got nervous because of how intimidating James can be.
Maybe we're actually just overestimating how skillful observing is.
Oh,
I'm
that
just kidding.
wouldn't go-
I'm just kidding.
that
I'm
wouldn't
just
go
kidding.
there.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Guy doesn't even have a microphone to defend himself.
Just doesn't translate. That's all. That's all it is. That's all it is. Absolutely. Joking.
Arguably, I started this, but you guys are still scumbags. Anyway,
Okay,
we've got
we
minute 10 for...
James
Look,
had a
man,
little
gotta
bit of
let go, right?
toxicity. I thought I should continue it, but I'm sorry. There's no way Priest can even defend himself here, so it's a little unfair. Just kidding. He does a great job.
Can defend himself by spinning with high sensitivity to give us headache.
Just give us a bad viewing experience.
So OG have the short position, and we can see that North have chosen to hold on to long. But now MSL starting to rotate over based on the utility that's been thrown towards the A bomb site and Molotov on the site itself. But what is the ultimate plan for OG? We've got KGB and CT spawn. He will have heard somebody just jump off of short into that mid position. And there's North are threatening to push the B bomb site now. They've got a late smoke grenade, which will give them some comfort towards the B bomb site. And here comes the push towards A.
Missile's ready. He's flashed.
He was
falls
ready.
back. He takes a shot, tries to take another shot, gets flashed again. Good flashes coming in from OG to deny that AWP. And they do get the short plant. But... oh, actually, there's no utility here for North. This will be a very hard retake without any utility. We'll see what they can do here. Mostly coming from CT. There's the single bit of utility tossed. Oh, wow. Cajun through the smoke there. Does find the kill onto MBK. Great game knowledge, but it's still looking labored. They are managing to get the kills here, but Mantu's now been unlocked with that AWP from Catwalk, the big boss. And there's no way to smoke him off or Molotov this position away. So this will be quite difficult. There's a bait from Alexi B. Good spray, finds Gabe. That's the bomb that was being defused. Now, again, they have to try to stick it. It's going to be very difficult, and Alexi B is really owning it this time. Christo has nothing left that he can do, which means that North will not be able to win this round. Maybe he can find an AWP or something, but no, just going to be the AK he'll save. What a great hold.
Yeah, for the most part, North actually had a really good retake. But as I mentioned earlier, that you need a smoke and a kit would definitely help in that scenario.
Props to Prius for catching every frag throughout all of that. On top of that, had to throw it back to him. Good job. That was excellent observing. I would not have been able to catch all that action.
Now you feel like really guilty. You're like you're overcompensating right now. Like,
that was a very good round, though. That was a good.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Respect.
Major props for that one.
He's still waiting for the push here. And there's the double from him. Let's not forget to thank Prius. Every given opportunity, though.
Every single kill. just
Let's just get his profile back up right now. Where's the overlay? Where's Prius overlay?
He just got every kill again.
Oh boy, roasted.
I'll live with that. 58%, you know, it's not that bad. It could be worse.
What does it look like when it's at 100%?
Yikes.
Wow, you want the visual.
Well, we're not there, thankfully.
It's more than... you know what, I'm not even go there.
It's me begging in
Hey,
college
OG are
for
2
a
rounds
bump up in
away
grade.
from victory in this best of 3, so North really need to turn things back into their favor sooner rather than later. We saw a jump peek from AZ, saw a bunch of players in mid, but not much you can really do with it. Had a pot shot through the smoke to no avail. NBK quickly up to that short position. MSL looks like he's watching the edge of the smoke. Indeed, he is. There's the molly. Will it come fast enough? Perhaps it won't. NXT, though, will head into the crosshair instead. KGB's here for support as well, and Long is also held. So it's not over just yet for North. They are winning this one in force, and they need to because they've got no money in the bank. They have to survive with the numbers as they've got many rounds to win.
Yeah, it felt like definitely a shock and awe kind of play from OG, just trying to catch North out, maybe with a very fast timing. And sometimes it looks like this. Sometimes you just get kind of wrecked. The other team is more ready than you expect. So I would probably expect another big change of pace in the next round, either to slow things down enormously or maybe even just try to spill out of mid instead.
But that's what MSL is expecting, though. So maybe they got to anti-counter that kind of thought and rush again. You just never know. You just never know at this high level play, dude.
He knows that you know that he knows that you know.
Looking at the stats for OG in the past 3-6 months, their CT win percentage on Dust 2 is 55%, and their T side is 46%. So they, I mean, they have a great lead right now, and they have a great opportunity to close this one out, but they have, historically speaking, not been as strong on the offensive on this map. Maybe not having as deep of a playbook as some other ones like Inferno, for example. But quick play out long here will help Valde out. He's completely blind, but he goes 1 for 1. Cajun B, though, holding his ground beautifully at this long angle. We've talked about this one before, and he makes it look good once again. MSL here. Oh, nice nade, and it's able to catch out Issa. That's a nice way to maintain the man advantage for North.
But they're really scary.
I thought MSL was done there.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead.
I think that's like when you watch I think it's like the opposite effect of the Xantares effect, where like when you watch Xantares, you're like, I don't know what the situation does. He's like 1v5, he's got a Glock and 1 HP, but I'm still like, my brain is telling me that he's going to do something. I think MSL like the reverse effect sometimes. You're like, I'm expecting that there's going to be a facepalm moment.
Something terrible is about that.
Exactly, yeah.
Something that shouldn't happen might happen.
Exactly. Which is all the better because, you know, when he does, you know, perform, it looks amazing because it goes against your expectation. And Xantares can never live up to the expectation.
Mm.
Well, I guess he does actually frequently.
He
does frequently actually up late.
Saw it a few days ago.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, he's super scary. But yeah, 2v3 on this map with so much time left is definitely very doable. You can see that they've burned a lot of time walking around. And how does he win that?
That's what we're talking about.
He's walking into the AWP angle. How does Man2 win that fight?
That is insane.
That doesn't make sense.
It's the right eye peak.
He's supposed to lose that
It's
fight.
the right eye peak. That's all it is.
Radar.
Wow.
All right. Well, Mantu has a chance to steal a round away from North here. He's playing the ramp position, and these North players aren't joined up just yet. They're actually quite far apart, but will they find the double peak from the high and the low? Looks like that won't be offered, and Mantu's able to take down AZ. Makes it down to a 1v1, looking for Cade, and he's able to find the kill through the smoke.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Let's go, Man2. That's the crazy thing because, so like when you're in a situation like OG were, you have to walk because you need the element of surprise, and that makes you just basically like the thing that counters that is the AWPs, because if you walk, peek, and AWP, you get wrecked. So I don't know if it was a right eye, left eye thing, because the angles looked pretty close enough to each other that it would have been mitigated, but maybe MSL's looking at the radar. That's could have been what happened there as well.
Yeah, that was...
It looked like he saw his elbow and then he died on his screen. So I'm inclined to think it had to be like the right eye because he just saw his elbow and died. And also MSL was in a very common spot. So maybe, I don't know, not play that spot.
I feel like it's a little bit of online too. Just the fact that...
that's a good point.
Yeah, because it looked like he was moving from our perspective.
That's very true, yeah.
So...
Counter-strafe, baby.
Well, here we are. It's match point for OG now. I didn't see them winning that round, but here we are. I think that North probably didn't see them winning a lot of rounds, but they are in a very difficult position now. And again, we've got a 2-1-2. And things are somewhat static, although we can see Gade threatening to perhaps maybe do something here. Clearing out some positions. Doesn't expect the full push behind it, so he holds on to his smoke grenade, which is pretty smart. They've got counter flashes North for the most part, and that's about it.
Flashes thrown up. Now it's going to be very hard to hold if we get an all-out assault, because MSL's kind of committed onto the site right now, and if they flash and molly correctly, MSL will have nowhere to stand with his AWP. So MSL will also get flashed most likely. So he's got to find a way to somehow delay them, avoid all of the flashes. And it's something that Woxic, I think, is very good at, is just avoiding all those flashes. And here it is, like all the fires, so very difficult. Oh, that's a great flick from MSL. High flash, there's another player on low. You don't always expect two players coming from that low ground. The cover from AZ is fantastic there. MSL has the teammates, he doesn't have to worry. And Manti misses that one. But he is not long for this world as he gets attacked from all angles. North keep themselves alive. That was actually a great defense. That flick from MSL was super important. He could not afford to miss that, and he does connect it. So great stuff there from him.
Yeah, MSL hit a pretty insane shot, and honestly, if he hit more of the easier shots in this game, I think it'd be a lot more rounds for North in general.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. That's a fair point.
It didn't say no one's missed the easy ones, typical Opper. They love to flick.
While it might feel like North are kind of dead in the water already, 5 rounds is doable, especially with OG just being on pistols with a few grenades in this round. They do seem a little more prepared for Dust 2. However, it's not over until it's over. Gate hopping up to trying to avoid these pistols, but he's unable to do so. Alexi finds the angle. That allows him to swarm. A great flick from AZ. He's got to do more. He'll tag but not frag, but his teammates are here, so the cavalry has been able to come through. That could have been the game if AZ doesn't hit like one of those shots.
Yeah.
That could spell absolute disaster. So it's a nervous warning, but they are only 4 rounds away.
Question is, how now do OG adapt to the double op setup? Common logic would point towards mid to B split, given that you have to flash a player through the CT smoke at some point, and that option is really taken away if that player who's in middle in a 2-1-2 setup is an opper. So we'll see if OG make the right call here. But oh wow, MSL getting aggressive very early on. Wants to find that man advantage, but Valde is somehow able to take down AZ through his smoke. And what is that? Montu through the door, taking down Cajun as well?
Oh my god, the re-peaks as well. I mean, it kind of has to be done. And it's still, this is still like a horrible situation for North because it's a minute and a half. That's a long time for OG to be able to reset into anything that they want. And we get them throwing smokes all over the place. So we'll see if this is a fake or not. Gage is, oh, he's committing so many bullets there. That's a lot. You kind of really, if someone's in that smoke, you're going to die if you miss your shots there. If you shoot that many bullets.
Yeah, that's a really deep
that
smoke.
could be it right there.
Usually you want to just bait someone to do that by just shoot a couple bullets, like 2 or 3, and then see if, and wait a little bit, see if someone pushes, and then you can shoot a bit more. But they have retake utility. They got 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and HE. Very doable. Nice shot! There we go. That's what you want to see. Good HE as well from MSL on the follow-up. He's definitely delivering right now. Christo with the rifle though. There's so much focus on him as the rifler. He's really going to need to be able to get in there. And oh, he gets caught. The timing there from Issa's perfect. And that's 16-11. OG will finish it off, and they will win this series against North 2-1.
Ooh, it's a rough loss for North. I felt like OG did play pretty well in the last 2 maps, as you saw. But on Overpass, North looked pretty unstoppable, to be honest. And I wish North would have that kind of maybe game plan on other puggier maps than other than like a Vertigo or Overpass, which is their 2 maps they love to choose to.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think there's a lot to talk about with regards to Dust 2. That could easily have been a North victory, I feel like, in a lot of worlds. But we will talk more about that in more depth after the break.